Guys, welcome back to another video on the After Effects for Animations Beginners course. I'm Dragon Gasai, and today we'll be finishing off chapter 2 by importing material and talking a little bit about the color depth in After Effects. In the previous video, we set up our composition file, and today we're actually going to be using that composition file for this lecture. Okay, so if you follow the previous tutorials, you already have a composition file already set up. So go ahead and open it up like I have it here, and we're going to start importing materials. All right. So in order to import materials, you go to File and Import and File. Here you will actually import many different files. Right now we have the layout file to import, the background file to import, and the cell files to import. So let's do that one by one. So let's go ahead and import them. So we're going to go and import the LO Targa file for the layout. We're not going to worry about sync options just yet. We're not going to create a new composition because we already did that. And we're going to import as footage. All right. So set import. And let's go this time, instead of doing it one by one, let's import multiple different files. So in order to do that, go to File, Import multiple files here. All right, so let's import the background. They gave us the Photoshop background right here, so I'm gonna click background. Again, we're not gonna worry about the sync options here, or we're not gonna create a new composition, and we're going to import as footage. Now in the Photoshop, there's 3 different options we got here. We're gonna worry about footage here and select import. And when we select import and we're importing a Photoshop file, this window will pop up here. The same 3 options will pop up here. Again, we're going to worry about footage. Composition, if we select composition file, we're going to import the layer information that Photoshop has. We don't want that at the moment. We're going to select footage. And the layer option, we're going to do merge layers. Now, if you're working on a personal project and you have like a sketch layer, or multiple different layers here, you can choose that layer over here, but for now let's just do merge layers here. Click OK. All right, let's go to import our cells. The cell is going to be in this folder called Paintal. Okay, we got A cell, B cell, and C cell. Alright, we're going to also import all the Targa files here. Again, we're going to import as footage. Not going to worry about the options here. Select import. And then this new window will pop up right here. Now in my Discord server and on the forum, I will explain a little bit about alpha channels, or I will find some information that will explain it better than I can. Right now, the alpha channels are pretty much saying or telling After Effects that what's the transparent color of the layer. So if we were to go and look at the A cell, all right, when you open up like a program like Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop or whatever, the background will be white, but it's actually really not white. It's actually transparent. Okay, that is pretty much what we're telling After Effects. For a simple way to do that, we can just go ahead and select this guest button, and we were telling After Effects that, hey, white is the transparent color. Okay, again, I will find some resources that will explain this whole lot better than I can, but for now we're just going to select guest, and we're going to be white, and we're going to say okay, and we're going to do that for the other 2 cell files. Import, yes, okay, and the last one here, import, yes, okay, and then we're all done. We just go ahead and select done. All right, so now we got all the files that we needed to finish off this chapter. Now we're going to drag this onto the timeline. Now there's 2 different ways to do this. One is to just select, click and drag onto the timeline, just like so. The other method is to drag something and drag it to the composition file. Okay, because this timeline is pretty much like a folder for that composition file. Okay, and remember, different layers. On the one on the bottom will be the furthest back. If you look at the layers in the three-dimensional space, the bottommost will be the furthest back, and the topmost will be the one closest to us on the top. All right. So, if we look at our timesheet here, typically A, or the ones on the left, will be the one furthest back. B, C, D, E will be on top of the one previous to it. So B will be on top of A, C will be on top of B, so on and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and click and drag all those cells, and then let's go ahead and add on our layout file here. The layout is very important because that's the middle box here. We need to line that up with our composition file. Okay, so that's exactly what we need to do. In order to do that, click and drag here, hold shift, and we want to pretty much line up that line with the composition file. Another way to do this, if you see this arrow right here, you click that arrow, you see this transform, you click that arrow down, and you see scale. Now the books had it at 95.5, so I was very, very close. And that's pretty much good right here. Now we changed the layout. Remember, the layout is our blueprint. It's a standardized file, so everything needs to match up roughly to the layout. So all our different files or all our different cells are not aligned with our layout. You see there's a little shift with these characters in the curtain. So we need to align everything to match up with that layout here. Okay, so general rule of thumb is that if you change the scale of the layout, so we had it at 95.5, the cells will also be scaled down to 95.5. So let's go ahead and change that. So if we were to look, it looks pretty much aligned. Yeah. Now the only thing that is not aligned is our background. So we also had to do that for the background. Scale, but this time instead of scaling the background, we need to change the positioning. In order to do that, you select the background and you just drag. You pretty much drag around until it matches up with the layout. So in order to do this on the background, in order to change the background, instead of keep clicking back and forth until your background is aligned, we can change the opacity of the layout. In order to do that, you go to transform, opacity. Let's set it to 50%. 50% is a good number. All right, so we can pretty much see the background here. Everything is aligned. Everything that's not the background. So I'm just gonna line that. Yeah, that's almost it. I'm going to give you guys the numbers that the book gave me, which is going to be X is 944.6 and Y is 488.5. All right, I was close. All right, so we got everything lined up and this frame is almost good to go. The only thing that needs to be worked on is the smoothing on the cells. Now, if we were to double click frame B, all right, and zoom in all the way, you can see these jagged lines here. All right, it's not smooth at all, And After Effects as a base does not have a smoothing tool for this, right? So you have to use something for, like Core Retas or something else. But luckily for us, the files that they gave us oh my god. Luckily for us, the files that we downloaded actually has the smoothed files for it. So we can just go ahead and replace these footage with those files. All right. In order to do that, instead of importing new footage and deleting these ones, we can just right click, replace footage, go to File, and let's go to this folder right here and import. All right, so let's go and replace file. Let's do this with the other two. The Photoshop file should be good. It shouldn't take any smoothing for the Photoshop file. It should already, had that done to it. And as you can see, there's a huge difference here. If you zoom out, it actually looks better. All right. We completed chapter 2. Hope you guys learned a little bit on compositioning here as a whole. And in chapter 3, there's a lot. There's a lot in chapter 3. I'm not gonna lie. Chapter 3 is more than half of the book, and I'm really excited to learn what's in store for us in chapter 3, because we're gonna look a little bit on blurs and motion effects, as well as really working with different cuts and stuff. So I'm really excited for chapter 3. All right. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. You can ask them down in the comment section below, or you can ask me on Discord or on the forum.